sent out.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to part 2 of episode 7. Jason's going to go ahead and take this segment. It's our little comic book segment. We're doing it way earlier tonight.
Yeah.
Take it away, Jason.
Is this supposed to be Rick?
All right.
Oh.
No, it's not Rick. Shut up. Okay.
Rick can go shove his non-existent hand up his ass.
With Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I'm assuming everybody's caught up.
Nope. Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, there's going to be spoilers, so...
Oh, what the fuck you want out?
Hey, don't tell people to tune out if they don't want spoilers. Fucking stay here and deal with the spoilers, you motherfuckers.
Trust me, as much as we can spoil, it's still more awesome on the show.
Oh, yeah.
So, the Diviner.
Yeah.
And the Terrigen Crystals. They haven't named them yet, but you know that's what they are.
Yeah, it shot out fucking Mist. We know it's the Terrigen Mist, for sure.
Yeah. Which means that before the 2018 movie, Marvel is already starting to work with the Inhumans.
Yep.
Well, it's
So
funny.
much so that Skye finally had her identity revealed as Daisy Johnson.
Yep.
Who, for the comic fans here, was Quake, and was very briefly the head of S.H.I.E.L.D. under Nick Fury. And now here's the other thing. Did you notice the doctor she's always been talking to, Dr. Calvin?
He's Mr. Hyde, isn't he?
Yeah, Calvin Zorbo, Mr. Hyde, from most famous probably, in my eyes, from the 90s Ghost Rider.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Got his start and journey into mystery.
Yep. And had been, villain for various characters, Daredevil, Captain America, but
Thor.
like I said, yeah, Thor, but like I said, I think where he got really big was with the second Ghost Rider, Dan Ketch. But that makes another major villain that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has rounded up and gotten started.
Yeah.
Joining Franklin Hall, who was Graviton.
Yeah, and we haven't... I just watched that episode earlier, and I was wondering if they're going to bring him back.
They've said they're going to bring him back. I don't know if he's going to be full-out Graviton, though, because that would be
I think
above and beyond the pay scale of the agents,
Right.
But granted, now that they're bringing in superpowered people with Daisy Johnson, Valkyrie did an episode, et cetera, they're actually... I think they're leaning towards the ability to actually have full-scale comic book style.
For sure, yeah.
Now they're bringing Lockjaw.
Yeah, right? No, I think that's going to be in the movie.
If they did Lockjaw, that would be amazing, but yeah.
They probably will at least have reference to him in the movie.
Right.
I mean, he's their teleporter, so they got to have him,
Yeah, it's going to be Lockjaw, Black Bolt, Medusa.
Yeah, it's going to be the Inhuman royal family.
Right.
I got an idea. I mean, do you know Miss Marvel, the new one? She's a Inhuman.
Yeah,
her.
Kamala Khan.
Was she Inhuman, though?
Yeah. No, the new one, Kamala Khan.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you were thinking Carol Danvers, right?
Yeah, I was, yes.
Well, she's getting her own movie, too.
Right.
Which, I'm wondering how they're going to manage that with the whole Kree backstory. And
right.
I'm sure Marvel...
It's going to be...
Marvel's going to be in it, probably.
Yeah.
I would imagine.
It's going to obviously probably be more of a spin-off of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. than it's...
Well, see, now this is what I love, Jason. I love the fact that, like, the show has been affected by the movies. We had the Thor stuff with Sif coming down to Earth, and we've had the Captain America 2 stuff, obviously. And this is the first instance with the Inhumans and stuff where the show is actually influencing or setting up the movies. And I love that. That to me sets the show on a whole other level in the sense that, like, I mean, it's always been connected, but this is the first time where the show is fucking establishing shit that's going to pay off way later.
Yeah.
And it's awesome.
I mean, we've seen a little bit with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. spinning out of Captain America 2 and Thor 2.
Right.
But now we're going to be seeing it where it's going to be the lead in instead of the lead out.
Yeah, and I love that. It's good.
And yes, Daryl, I am drinking.
Yeah, good.
I've taken about a shot of Jaeger at this point.
Okay. Well, I'm happy to hear it because I don't want to be the only drunk asshole on this stream.
Hydra.
Yes. Hydra.
Somebody had to do it.
Yeah.
On that note.
Yeah.
Wayne.
Yes.
Have you kept up on Marvel lately?
I bet the best that my poor ass can. Yes.
Yeah.
The new issue of All New Captain America. Sam Wilson gets told something interesting about Hydra.
Oh, yeah?
Oh?
Hydra has sleepers in every major super team.
No shit.
including the Avengers and the X-Men.
You know what? They're actually dealing with that in the Ultimate Spider-Man as well. There's a Hydra logo on the new issue.
It's going to be bigger than that. Miles Morales' family has ties to Hydra.
No shit.
And they're
Everybody
hinting
gonna be scrolls again.
that Miles has a choice to make.
Right.
Which is join Hydra or not.
Damn. Hey guys, I'm gonna link you to a site that uploads comics, and so you can stay relatively up to date on all the new Marvel stuff and
Now,
DC as well, actually. So
since we're talking Marvel, we have to talk about the elephant in the room.
yeah.
Axis.
Yeah.
Just from what I've heard, my head hurts. Yeah.
Well,
First off, we've already had Magneto is no longer Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch's dad.
right.
Mm-hmm.
No, he's still Quicksilver's dad. He's just not. I thought he wasn't Scarlet Witch's dad.
It's impossible for him not to be both parents.
Oh, that's right. They're twins.
Because they're twins.
Yeah, that's right.
Now, what's interesting about that is it has to do less with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. style and more Marvel trying to distance themselves from Fox.
Right. Yeah, because they're gonna feature pretty heavily in the next Avengers flick, so they they want to be able to go and do their own thing and not have that whole Magneto stigma hanging over their shoulders or whatever.
Now, what's funny
Daddy
is
issues.
Right.
that Days of Future Past originally was not supposed to have Quicksilver.
It's gonna have Juggernaut.
Yep, Juggernaut was plotted to be the person that broke Magneto out. But
Really?
then Joss Whedon said, "Oh, we're going to use Quicksilver." Fox turned around and said, "No, you're not," and rushed Quicksilver into development in the movie.
Oh.
But it doesn't
turned
matter
out pretty well,
still-
actually.
But they're still going to use Quicksilver, so it doesn't matter. Really.
Right.
I mean, there was an impending legal battle. Then it got kind of sidestepped by saying, "We can both use them. Here's the terms."
Right.
Now the question is, if they were going to use Juggernaut, was it going to be Vinnie Jones or was it going to be?
You're right.
It was going to be a new.
I'm the Juggernaut, bitch.
It was gonna
Don't
be
you know
someone-
who I am?
It was going to be somebody that can actually act.
Oh, yeah.
Now, funny.
Hey, lots of
bring up
talking cute
Juggernaut,
smoking
too.
girls. I love that. Huh?
Kind of interesting. We bring up Juggernaut too. Marvel is rebranding Juggernaut.
No shit.
A new Juggernaut is showing up in Astonishing X.
Yes. I
And
did.
only thing that's been revealed is it's not going to be Kane Marco. Or
Right.
at least they're saying that it's not going to be.
Somebody else is going to get the Sidorak gem?
Again.
Well,
I mean,
the thing
the
is, there's something that has been kind of since Onslaught. It's been kind of bugging me, and it needs to be clarified.
Yeah.
At no time does a Juggernaut have the crystal of Sidorak.
No, it's
At no
sitting
time.
at the bottom of the temple.
Yeah, that's why Onslaught ripping the gem out of Juggernaut was bullshit.
Yeah.
Complete bullshit. That shouldn't happen. And plus, it was kind of stupid that Onslaught could beat the shit out of Juggernaut anyway. If the Hulk can't do it, then Onslaught shouldn't be able to do it.
Well, I think that was their way of showing you how powerful Onslaught was supposed to be.
Onslaught's he's shit tier. It was a stupid storyline anyway.
Well, see, and this is, going back to Axis, they basically made the Red Skull. They crossed the Red Skull with fucking Onslaught. And
Red
he's-
Onslaught.
Yeah. So, because what happened is the Red Skull stole Xavier's brain.
Mhm.
And, that's... And actually, they're trying to open the door to bring Xavier back through that, too, so...
But instead they brought back Onslaught.
Yeah. And they're like, Xavier's in there somewhere. And, that whole thing, Axis, man, like, it was the most rushed fucking event story that I've seen in a long time, man. Like, yeah.
These Marvel events just seems getting worse and worse.
Well, like they've got the Hulk now, and the Hulk has his own Hulk. He's got like one tier up above the Hulk.
Yeah, Clue.
Yeah, and
He's
it's
like a super Hulk.
yeah, and now so due to the inversion, this was the result of Scarlet Witch and Doctor Strange doing their mojo. Certain heroes are now villainous, and certain villains are now heroes, and it kind of works like Carnage. I thought was cool. He had his own little 3-issue miniseries, and it was
great.
Yeah, it was great, absolutely. And but then you've got like the X-Men joining up with Apocalypse. Like he's leading the X-Men now.
Yeah, the inverted characters. I'm to understand only a few of them are going to stick around in their inverted state.
Right, and like the Avengers, like they just introduced Sam as the new Captain America, and now he's leading a group of Avengers who are fucking dicks.
The Axis of Evil Avengers.
Yeah, and they wanted to kill the Skull, and I guess
now
men took him or somebody took him.
Now here, spoilers for issue 8, which just came out a couple days ago, but I don't give a fuck.
Right.
Oh,
go ahead. Did we lose? Oh,
Yeah.
no, we lost him. Yeah, give him a second to come back, and we'll...
So what does Deadpool have to do with Axis?
You know what? I don't think
Don't
anything...
tell me what I have... Oh, wait, you're not talking to me.
Leave me out of this.
No,
Remy's on her way back.
cool.
Give me just a sec.
So, like I was saying, what does Deadpool have to do
What the
with
fuck
Axis?
is Miles Morales doing in the all-new X-Men? What the hell?
I don't think that's... I don't think that is who we think it is. It can't be.
No, it's looks like Miles. Huh.
Well,
I don't know. I'll have to read this later.
Can I ask you something? So have you guys been reading the Edge of Spider-Verse books?
Now, see, Jason hates that shit. I love it. I think Spider-Verse is cool. Because well, I love the different iterations of Spider-Man throughout the multiverse and everything. Like, that's what I'm digging. The storyline itself is kind of...
Sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries, man.
My dog accidentally unplugged my computer.
Oh,
Issue
good dog.
8 of Axis.
And you just shot your dog in another story.
Yeah.
In an
Unrelated.
unrelated story.
Issue 8 just came out.
Right.
Captain America is back in his old... the original Captain America, Steve Rogers.
So he's de-aged?
No, he is back, but it's temporary. He's in an exoskeleton.
Oh, okay.
And they brought back the Red Skull.
Okay.
He's now the White Skull, apparently.
Is he inverted?
No, nobody knows. They just showed like a couple panels of him, but his skull is now white.
Okay.
And they're already starting to undo a couple of the inversions.
Okay.
They've already revealed Deadpool will be back to being Deadpool.
Wasn't he always Deadpool, though?
He
No.
was Zenpool.
It's like this hippie.
What? Did you say Zenpool?
Yes.
Yeah.
A hippie version of Deadpool.
Yep.
Okay.
There are a million versions of Deadpools. I think there's also a Deadpool the dog ones.
Well,
Yep.
Yeah, there's
those are
Dogpool,
alternate reality.
Kidpool.
Those are alternate reality. This
Yeah.
is the main 616.
By the way, speaking of that, if you gotta check out Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe.
That
And-
is so good.
Yeah, and then Deadpool Kills Deadpool, which is the follow-up.
I
This
didn't
is
see that one
basically-
yet.
Oh, it's
Like-
excellent.
He
This-
goes around killing alternate versions of himself.
Yeah.
Is that like that movie, the one which
Yeah.
exactly where he keeps on getting his power of all of himself?
Well, no, yeah. I mean, well, it's similar in the sense that he goes around killing himself, but it's
But,
just, yeah. Jason.
The other interesting stuff for issue 8 of Axis,
Uh-huh.
besides, the fact that they're naming now the Evil Avengers,
Right.
is they're doing some really interesting lead-ups to Uncanny Avengers Volume 2,
Okay.
which is the crossover X-Men Avengers.
Huh. Right.
They've already shown a couple previews for the new Uncanny Avengers, and issue 8 is important to that because they bring back a dead character.
Hmm.
They brought back Dr. Voodoo.
Oh, no shit, huh?
Yeah. He's going to be on the new team, along with who Marvel is billing pretty much as Wolverine's replacement, Sabretooth.
No way.
Sabretooth is going good.
And it's not... is
And
it...
it has to do with Axis inversions and
Jason?
the Logan legacy.
Clarify something for me. Is Dr. Voodoo the same as Brother Voodoo?
They've gone by the same name.
Right. Jericho Drum, right?
Yeah, Jericho Drum.
Okay.
Originally Brother Voodoo, when he took over as the Sorcerer Supreme, he became Dr. Voodoo.
Right. Now, are they setting up Sabretooth through the Death of Wolverine stuff, or what?
Death Wolverine and Axis. Death of
Okay.
Wolverine. There's going to be a new series coming out of that called Wolverines,
Oh, okay.
It's gonna
which
be
is a
weekly,
loose,
isn't it?
a loose-knit team of like X-23, Sabretooth, Mystique, Lady Deathstrike, and a couple of the new characters from the Weapon X stuff.
Right. So Sabretooth's going legit, is what you're saying.
It looks like Sabretooth is going to be going legit for a little while.
Huh. Yeah, they've
And-
tried that before, haven't
Yeah.
they?
Until he
Flips
pulls out
out.
the face card.
But this time they're approaching it differently. When he went good last time, it's because he got a hole poked through his fucking brain.
Right. And
This-
didn't he actually end up almost killing Psylocke at one point
Yes.
during that? Yeah.
Mulder.
Right.
But this time around, it's going to be due to the inversion, and he finally sees the consequences of him rapidly killing people
Huh. And that's supposed to stick, huh?
for a little while.
Okay. Is that an inversion thing, or is that just him
It's-
going, okay, I see what's going on?
A
And,
little bit of column A and a little bit of column B.
okay. I don't know, man. Like, I think Marvel's, say what you will about Axis as a story, but I think there's some really interesting stuff kind of spinning out of that.
Like Hobgoblin going good.
Yeah. Wait. But which version of Hobgoblin?
It's the original. It's Roderick Kingsley.
Okay. Huh. I
And like we
wasn't
said
aware of
earlier,
that.
College is really good. You should all read it.
Which
Yeah,
one is?
Carnage.
Carnage. Yes, it is. It's excellent.
Carnage Axis and Hobgoblin Axis are both good.
Right. And I haven't got the opportunity to read the Hobgoblin one yet.
We all know that Marvel's trying to separate themselves from Fox's work with the X-Men movie.
And same with
And
Spider-Man.
Sony with Fantastic Four.
That's what I meant.
So
Fucking
much
ended.
so that
Oh my God.
Fantastic Four is ending soon.
Yeah.
Hey guys,
Yeah.
just gonna say, did you read Punisher issue 12?
I haven't. I
No,
haven't read Punisher in a long time, man.
I've had a hard time getting into the new volume of
The last
Punisher.
one I read, he had been kidnapped, and they were trying to sell him off or something like that. They had somebody who wanted him, and last I read, he broke out, and that was it. So I haven't read.
Well,
it.
Wait, is issue 12 the new Howling Commandos?
No, well, basically
Huh.
what I'm gonna say is there's a scene in the issue where they actually kill off the cast of the reboot Fantastic Four.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Because basically Los Angeles was like in a massive riot.
Nice.
And, yeah, but on top of Marvel canceling Fantastic Four, they're
Yeah.
separating
No more mutants.
the X-Men. No, even beyond that, they're separating the X-Men line out.
Oh, are they?
The spoilers have been going around for Secret Wars lately,
Yes.
the next event. If you look at those covers, you will not find a Fantastic Four character or a mutant, unless they're tied to Avengers.
Huh. Wait, so you're saying they're doing away with it altogether?
No, well, there's that No More Mutants thing coming up
Yeah.
too, but that's going to be its own thing. They're going to basically, from what I understand, remove mutant classification.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
It sounds like they're going to try to pull them in under like the Miracles banner or some shit.
Right, so they can kind of do that shit in their own
Call them
cinematic universe.
They're lights.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. But they're see what Marvel's doing. They're repositioning shit so they can either take it back or reference this stuff directly without excuse me, running afoul of Sony and Fox. Yeah.
I'll be honest, with Fantastic Four, it's going to be no great loss to the line.
No.
Fantastic Four has been rebooted, 6 times in the past decade?
Yeah,
Wayne?
Johnny Storm just
Yeah.
finally got his powers back after dying.
Yeah.
So,
Well, they've rebooted them 6 times in the past decade, roughly.
right.
The sales have not been that great.
No.
I mean, they even went back to the original numbering, and it didn't touch sales.
Right. Oh yeah, they did, didn't they?
Yeah.
It was like 600 and something.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only time that they've been successful in the last 20 years was when they did the when they started with new number ones after Heroes Reborn.
Right, and I think what's the artist's name? Mike Waringo.
Yeah,
He
Waringo.
was doing
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, he was doing it. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And that was probably their best shot.
man,
Yeah.
that guy when he died, man, that bummed me out. He was like one of my favorite artists, like
Yeah.
totally one of my
Yeah.
inspirations. But anyway, sorry.
I didn't like about wasn't Waringo's run when Thing died and they went to heaven?
No, that was I
Or was
forgot who
that
did
right
it.
after Ringo?
That was after Ringo because he died, went to heaven, and then that was when Reed said because that was when Reed took over Doom's body.
Yeah.
Oh no shit.
And they
Yeah.
established that Jack Kirby is really the god of Marvel Comics.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had him sitting at his drawing table working
Yeah.
on the. Yeah.
Now,
They
for
actually
the-
use that art frequently whenever they fucking reference Jack Kirby anymore.
Yeah. Well, one last thing about Marvel, then we're going to hop over to DC because there's been some interesting news there.
Yeah. Now, see, DC, I'm not too familiar with, so. But
Don't
that,
worry,
that-
we'll hold your hand. It's
yeah,
really
that said, Gwen wants to do some complaining about DC, so. So go ahead. Let's wrap this up
You
then.
guys just want to talk about Marvel the whole time. I don't mind.
No,
I think
I've
we're
been
heading
handheld the whole
towards.
I wanna
time. I haven't
give
read
equal
comics in a little while.
everybody.
Can I just want to complain that when DC rebooted everything,
The
they
New 52.
Hold your thought, Gwen. I'm
Yeah.
going to get into that. Trust me.
All right, then let me complain about what they did to my two favorite comics.
Yeah,
We will.
we'll get to that. Trust me.
Constantine, if that's not one of them.
Yeah. But the last thing about Marvel that's really funny,
Yeah.
with the whole thing with Fox and the X-Men rights,
Mm-hmm.
with the upcoming
Apocalypse.
X-Men movies, they've got two plotted out. It's going to be probably a good 3 or 4 years before they can get the rights back.
Right. Oh, you're talking Marvel before they can get the rights back?
Yeah, before Marvel can get the rights back from Fox.
Right.
But isn't it like they have to keep making movies?
Yeah,
Yep.
they do. They have to keep
They
making
have to
movies or forfeit the rights after a certain period of time.
Sony let's face it, Sony is probably going to wind up having to give the rights back because
hope they
Spider-Man
do.
2 was a flop.
Right, and that
And
actually
so-
caused them to reshuffle everything.
Well, in the recent leak and everything, and basically the emails showed what Disney was offering to get it back, and
It
they've
was
already,
substantial.
yeah, and they're already like and I think I heard somewhere that Disney and Marvel are already casting the new Spider-Man.
No shit. Now, see,
Yeah, so-
Sony would be wise to
Which
take
is stupid. We don't.
They wanted him back.
Garfield is perfect.
You know what, Remy?
I will
I
admit,
agree.
Garfield-
I liked him as Peter Parker and Spider-Man both. Like,
Exactly.
way more than Tobey Maguire.
Good. He's a good cast for it because he can spout the one-liners that Spider-Man's known for.
Yeah.
But the writing is what failed him.
Yeah.
And those leaks showed that even Sony doesn't know what the fuck they're going to do.
No, and actually, I think Garfield was fired because of some of the things he said. About
He
the
pretty much
mismanagement.
called Sony out on it.
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah,
you have no fucking clue what you're doing.
Yeah. And I can't blame him. I mean, like, I like the concept. I liked where they were taking it. It kind of felt like its own alternate universe thing, and they were doing it
Yeah.
well enough. It was, but Amazing Spider-Man 2 is unforgivable.
Now, what's funny is the original deal they were trying to work out was be able to use Spider-Man for Captain America 3 Civil
Right.
War.
Right.
What it's looking like now is he may be a full-blown Avenger in Infinity War.
No shit.
Yeah.
They're thinking by that point they're going to have the rights back in-house.
Oh man, that would be great.
Yeah, exactly. So I have to admit, at this point in time, Marvel's comics are kind of lacking,
Right.
but their movies are top-notch.
Well,
Now-
quickly,
now-
I want to say one more thing about Marvel. It's they're lacking, but read Moon Knight and Rocket Raccoon. 'Cause they are both great.
Now, hey guys, can we before we head over to the DC universe, can we talk a little bit about the potential of Infinity War and what that fucking means for comic book fans like me?
Oh yeah, because Infinity War, all the Infinity series, Gauntlet, War.
You guys have
Infinity
seen
Abyss.
you have seen the fucking teaser, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, just with Thanos turning around with the fucking gauntlet. Oh man, that was one of the series that kind of introduced me to comics growing up. Was the Infinity Gauntlet.
That was actually my first crossover.
Yeah,
When I was a
exactly.
kid.
Same here, and I fucking loved it. And I'm really eager to see them do it right. You know.
Now,
Yeah.
let's skip over to DC.
Sure. Let's go.
Now, we're going to start with the good or the bad.
Good.
I always start with bad because you got to lead in good, you know.
All right, the bad.
Yeah.
Okay. Which means we get to leave their TV shows alone for the moment.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
Let's
Actually.
see.
Swamp Thing
The
got
New
cancelled.
52 is apparently going to be coming to an end.
Yes, it is. Well,
No.
my understanding is it's temporary, Jason.
Here's
what's
the other
gonna-
thing, though. A good chunk of the New 52 is coming to an end. World's End has
Future's
been
End.
canceled. Or Future's
Well,
End has been
That's
canceled.
going to be temporary anyway.
Yeah. See, my understanding was But see,
But
my
they-
understanding was the
they cut
cancellation
the-
was temporarily,
Yeah.
where they bring it back to the original universe.
Yeah, but it got shit canned.
Mm-hmm.
Along with Injustice Season 3.
So they're going to do season 4. They're going to do
Four?
season 4.
Really?
Yeah.
Last I heard, they were giving it the axe, and that was like 2 days ago.
Already?
DC just announced, let me find it, a new round of cancellations. And there was some stuff that had been New 52.
Well, I know one of the creators
Since its exception.
or the writers of Injustice is leaving. And yep, that is one of the comics that it was canceled. Yeah.
DC cancels 13 ongoing monthlies and 3
Yep.
weeklies.
Yep.
All right. New 52.
Are you telling me Kyle Rayner was a White Lantern?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Being axed. New 52. Future's End.
Which is temporary.
Nope.
Right.
It is now.
No. He's saying that New 52 Future's End was always meant to be
Yeah.
temporary.
It was supposed to be a lot longer than it was given, though.
Gotcha.
It was supposed to be like a year or two.
It's going to be, yeah.
Secret Origins is being canceled.
Earth 2 World's End. Which is what I was
Aquaman.
trying to say earlier. Batman Eternal is gone.
That's
They're already saying Batman Eternal is going to get a reboot.
Well, again, like I said, that was
Aquaman and Star Spangled War Stories.
Okay.
New
Aquaman
Guardian,
and the
Swamp Thing.
Hey,
Swamp
Daryl.
Thing.
Daryl.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm spurting
Calm
out here.
down. Yeah, you got to you got look. You got to understand format here.
No. I'm sorry. I'm reading this shit at the same time I'm talking to you guys. Sorry.
That are going to be axed in March. Aquaman and the Others. Infinity Man and the Forever People. Clarion. Secret Origins. Star Spangled War Stories featuring G.I. Zombie. This next one honestly bugs me.
Sorry, G.I.
I know. But, Wayne, here's one that might strike you as bad as it does me.
Okay.
Trinity of Sin is getting canceled.
What is? I'm sorry.
Trinity of Sin.
Oh, okay.
The Phantom Stranger, Pandora, and
question.
The Question.
Mm-hmm.
World's
Which
Finest.
version of the question? The Renee Montoya version?
No, the other one.
Oh,
Okay.
he went back to him. Okay.
World's Finest is getting canceled.
Hmm.
Arkham Manor is already being canceled.
Now, see, that's one I hadn't read.
Batwoman,
Really? Batwoman?
Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
Now, here's the 3 last ones are all tied together, and they hurt me so damn bad.
Yeah.
Because as I sit on my jacket, there is a Red Lantern pin.
Yeah.
Green Lantern Corps, Green Lantern Corps New Guardians, and Red Lanterns are all canceled.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so can I just say something?
Yeah.
Okay, so with Swamp Thing and Red Lanterns, I think the reason is because the writer, Charles Schell, he's leaving because he's got this contract with Marvel.
Yep.
And that's why the series is ending or something like that. It was also because he was also working on She-Hulk at Marvel, but that's cancelling in March as well.
And they've also announced that once they go back to the old reality briefly, in June, the New 52 comes back, and they've already said all the comics with it. There's a couple in here that are actually really interesting. I mean, you got obviously the big guys like Justice League, etc. Earth 2, Justice League United, Justice League Dark, Deathstroke, Aquaman, Constantine, Flash, Green Arrow. Lobo is getting his own series again.
Well, he's already got it out. It's already out.
Well, I'd heard they were on the fence with Lobo.
Well, okay, so they've got a new run right now. It started.
Yep.
Came out in October.
Yeah. But a lot of the annoying things is like, honestly, I know Gwen's going to flip out when I say this. The new incarnation of Secret 6. I cannot stand it. I miss the late 90s, 2000s Secret Six, where you had Catman running the show, you know?
Yeah, where they made Catman like fucking Batman. He was almost
He
the
was,
antithesis of Batman.
I'll be honest. You know what I'm going to say. The
Catman.
issue where he punches out Batman.
Yeah.
He was better than Batman in that story.
Wow, that's a character I've never fucking heard of. I mean, I've heard of him, but I've never read him.
Imagine Batman without all the money and actually relying on his body.
Right.
And it's like he was a joke character until right before Infinite Crisis.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then suddenly he came out of nowhere as badass.
Mm-hmm.
Who's that guy then that was on the Justice Society?
Wildcat.
That's
yeah.
Wildcat.
Okay.
Ted Grant.
Ted Grant. Yeah, he's the guy that's training. He trained. What's her fuck? Canary, right? Black Canary.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
In one incarnation, yeah.
Right.
He trained a lot of different younger heroes. Yeah.
Okay. And that's what he's doing on the show too, apparently, right? On
Yep.
Arrow. Okay. Sorry.
Now,
I just
what?
reading about this guy. He looks pretty
I want to
badass.
see what you have to say about this. I'm just going to give you one sentence and let you go. Are you ready?
She's got to unmute, Gwen.
Gwen. Well, fine. We'll wait for her. But with the new 52, I'll be completely honest. I've not been a fan of the new 52 since its inception.
Yeah.
Same.
As Wayne and I have said time and again in this stream, DC reboots its continuity on average once every 7 years.
Yes, they do.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of that, I'm going to go ahead. I'm laying blame right where.
On the other hand, love the new 52. So whatever.
No, don't mute yourself after making a statement. We're going to have a discussion about this. Because I'm going to tell you why I don't like the new 52, and it has and I do like some of the stories, and I'm not saying they've got bad stories. I'm laying this all at the feet of Dan Didio because he's a fucking moron.
Thank you.
That's the long short of it. He doesn't know how to. He's like, I want the Silver Age. That's what has been his whole thing since he took over DC.
The new 52 is not the Silver Age.
No, but that's what he wants, though.
Yeah.
Think about it. What has come out of the new 52? Earth 2. Where they, if it kept not going like it's going, we'd get Earth 3, Earth 4, Earth 5. Eventually, there would be 52 Earths again.
Oh yeah.
Because Dan Didio is in charge, and he's an idiot.
Yeah.
Now, as much as we hate on New 52, I do admit there are a few parts of it I really like.
Sure. Like
No,
what?
One of them's about to get canceled.
Yeah. Which one?
Swamp Thing.
Swamp Thing. Yeah. Well, Swamp Thing's one of those comics that's good in all its incarnations.
Well, let's just be honest. We're never going to get another Alan Moore Swamp.
Now, can you tell me this, Jason?
That must be a really hard character to write.
Jason?
Yeah.
Did I'm sorry, Remy.
Yeah, let Remy get her point in here.
Yeah.
Well, no, I was just going to say, I mean, Alan Moore, when you have a definitive writer, like, if Moore touches something, then that's it.
Right.
Like, that's, at that point, you need to say, okay, you know what? He has made everything possible with this character, and this is where we're going to leave it. It's, and what he did with Swamp Thing made that character the character that we love, and why it's iconic. I mean, I still have my Vertigo Swamp Things in my long boxes in the attic. Like, those comics mean so much to me that I don't want to read another incarnation of it. I have no interest in it. It would be as if somebody else writing Sandman. I don't want to read that. I don't have an interest.
You just gained so much, respect from me that I officially want to sleep with you.
Yeah.
Jason had dumped me like ages ago. I feel so happy now. He's taking me back.
No, honestly, you put to words what I've been thinking and feeling for the past 20 years.
All right, Gwen's back now.
Now, hey, Jason.
Yeah.
Jason, I wanted to ask you something. Like, I'm not hugely familiar with DC Comics. Did John Constantine get his start in Swamp Thing?
I can't tell. I don't really know off the top of my head where the first issue of Hellblazer came in.
Well-
Remy actually might know that one better.
Sure.
But John Constantine got big in Swamp Thing.
Okay.
Again,
And that was
under
the
Alan Moore.
Moore run, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was under Moore. And this is the thing, when Vertigo Comics was, at least for me, I mean, in the mid-90s, I was a goth kid. The first comic that I ever got handed was a one-shot from Vertigo called Kill Your Boyfriend. And I walked into the comic shop, and I was wearing... I looked cute. It was a cute day. But I walked in the comic shop. I was in middle school. I was not doing real well with my parents. This extremely gangly, long-haired guy walked around from behind the counter, didn't say anything, picked up a comic, walked over, handed it to me, and said, "This is for you. You need to read this." I'd never read a comic before.
And now looking... Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but that changed. I ended up 2 years later. I was working at that comic shop. I mean, that
That's awesome.
that completely being handed just that one shot completely changed everything. I bought that day after sitting on the floor in my adorable leather trench coat and reading that. I mean, I picked up Swamp Thing. I picked up everything that he pointed me at, and I did eventually get into superhero comics, but I started out with Vertigo was my gateway. I mean, that's how I got
gorgeous art,
into
too.
it.
And honestly, for me,
Like,
I
I'm
have
a
a
fan.
similar-
I'm just looking at this shit, and I'm a fan of Philip Bonds, like, immediately. That's
Yeah.
some good stuff.
now, for me, I have a similar story. I used to be huge into superhero comics. And I was dating this girl who was like, "Why do you bother with the same stories over and over?" And I'm like, "Well, give me something good." She brought me to the comic shop and bought me the first 2 volumes of Sandman.
Oh, yeah.
And
Classic
that
Neil
just,
Gaiman.
yeah, that just turned me the fuck around.
Now, see,
Well, I
mean,
showed you guys above my bed, right? I mean, I
Yeah.
sleep with
Mhm.
death
Yeah, those
over
things
me
are
every
beautiful.
night.
But
Jason wants to be in that bed again now.
more than Sandman, what really got me for Vertigo was Transmetropolitan.
Yeah, you and I have spoken about this,
and
Jason.
so much so that I've got it on my arm permanently, you know?
That was my mom's.
He's got
favorite
Spider
comic.
Jerusalem.
No, I've got the 3-eyed smiley.
Oh, okay.
My mom loved Transmetropolitan. It was her favorite series. She was kind of if you got Spider Jerusalem and mixed him with Slappy Squirrel, that was my mom.
That's awesome.
Well,
I gotta admit,
Glenn,
I've never read Transmet.
have you ever watched Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, Daryl?
Yeah.
The classic Hunter S. Thompson?
Yep.
Transmetropolitan is a sci-fi Hunter S. Thompson.
Right. And Spider Jerusalem's a journalist, right?
He is literally a almost complete ripoff of Hunter.
Okay. I'm gonna have to check this out
My
now.
mom was a journalist.
Go looking for a torrent, I do.
And she
Transmet
did journalism.
was great. Honestly, if you genuinely want to read it, I'll buy you the graphics. I'll send it to you. Don't torrent it because that's
Yeah,
not
that's
cool.
one of those ones even I have
Remy.
problems letting you do it.
I love you even more than I already do.
Now, Remy. Preacher.
I love Preacher. I
like that series a lot.
I'm not comfortable. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm super protective of the things that I love.
I'm R's
Yeah.
face.
And I get concerned when I have been blown away by the Constantine show. Like, I absolutely enjoyed that. That was something that I had, like, dread in the pit of my
and
stomach.
if I can get a moment, Remy, you heard Constantine is getting moved, right?
Yes.
Wait, what? Moved?
It's getting a better time slot.
Yeah, its current time
better?
slot's killing it. Its current time slot is
when it
killing
comes back from mid-season hiatus, it is getting an earlier time slot.
So it's doing well, huh?
They are
Well,
banking on it.
And
Very
it
cool.
hasn't been doing well, but there was a beautiful writing campaign that was run, and the fans really spoke out and said, look, like, this is something that you have going for you that's right and is perfect, and please don't take it away from us. And for once, they listened. So
But Mr. Garth Ennis's Punisher, however, or not Punisher, Preacher.
Preacher.
that
got it.
makes me nervous because Preacher is something that, and again, they could prove me wrong. I mean, I hope that we come back after and I say, you know what, I was wrong, this is great. Walking Dead made me nervous, and it's
Yeah,
completely
same
blown
here.
me away.
Right.
When you really care about something, and Preacher is another one of those comics that I'm just super attached to. And I mean, it's within arm's reach. Like, I can reach from my bed and touch my copies that I've had since I was 17.
Hey, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I just want to rub this in real fast.
Okay.
Very, very, very nice.
That was classy.
But yeah, like that.
Hold up. There's
Oh,
a
what is
video.
he showing us?
He's got pizza.
Oh. Yeah, but it looks like it's Domino's.
Yeah.
So fuck that. I mean, if
Okay.
I wanted to eat shit, I'd go reach in the
I
toilet.
got pizza.
Okay.
All you fuckers have alcohol.
Yeah.
Well, I've just finished my bottle of Jaeger, so give me
You
about
finished it?
It was only about a quarter of a bottle.
Oh, okay.
I did want to give Gwen a chance to vent her frustrations.
Yeah.
And-
Yeah, let's get back to
I
it.
just
Gwen.
had something small to say, and that was just with these things. And back before the New 52, there were these two comics. I mean, to me, reading these comics was getting me back into superhero comics, and those were Birds of Prey and Secret Things. Those were getting me back into
Yeah.
freaking superhero comics. And then when they basically canceled them and fucked everything up, I stopped reading hero comics. I almost got back into buying them, but then they lost me. I loved those two series. I thought the way they had, like, Barbara Gordon being disabled and being Oracle was a really interesting take of the character.
Let's be
And
honest,
Secret
Gwen.
Six was amazing.
Gwen, let's be honest. With Barbara Gordon, you and I are both disabled.
Yeah.
So to have a disabled superhero as a disabled person actually felt
Kind of
good.
spoke to you.
Yeah, it did.
It was such an insult.
And did they make her Batgirl again?
Yeah, that
Yep.
was the insult to me, that they, brought her back as Batgirl. Not saying I didn't like her as Batgirl.
Sure, but it was
That's
kind of
nothing-
like they threw away the most impactful kind of aspect of the character.
It
just
was
to-
such a big deal that it wasn't even intended to be. I mean, I think, pretty much the Killing Joke was going to be an Elseworlds title until it was such, it had made such an impact
Yep.
that it was like, we're going to use this.
Yeah.
Again,
so,
Alan Moore will do that.
yeah, Alan Moore will do that shit, and so that's the thing. It kind of, just like the whole thing is like, oh yeah, she did get shot and she was disabled, but she got better.
I got a question for you, Jason.
Yeah.
What would you say is his more seminal work, Swamp Thing or Watchmen? Alan
Honestly,
Moore.
this may get me shot.
No.
I prefer neither.
Yeah.
For
Really?
me,
Yeah. I just love Dave Gibbons' art. So.
Miracle Man.
Miracle
Yes.
Man.
Yes. Yes.
I haven't seen that
The
one.
the few issues I've read were
Glenn,
great.
Make sure, talk to me after this. I'll make sure you get a chance to read Miracle Man. It was originally like an old comic called Marvel Man. When Alan Moore took it over, he turned it from just a generic Captain Marvel ripoff to this deep deconstruction of the superhero. And then when Moore left, he got Neil Gaiman to come in.
Right. Yes, he did.
And Neil Gaiman took the deconstruction of the superhero and said, let's upscale it, and made it the deconstruction of the super world.
Wait, so when you say Captain Marvel, we're talking what
The big red
came-
bot.
Shazam?
Shazam, yeah.
Yeah, okay. That shit confuses the fuck out of me.
I know.
Did they have to rename it because of the Marvel Comics character? or-
Actually, they had to rename it because of the DC.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, because Captain Marvel was originally owned by Fawcett, and
Yep.
and Fawcett
A
got
bunch of the
bought by
characters were, right?
Yeah, and Captain Marvel was basically a direct rip-off of Superman. I mean, down to the lightning bolt looked like an S.
Yeah.
There's something funny.
Huh.
Superman originally didn't fly, but Captain Marvel did. So they ripped off that.
Yeah, he's right, because Superman was originally just jumping buildings and shit. He was like the Hulk, except not green. In that respect.
No,
Hey, hold on, I got a train.
I got a question for you, Glenn.
Let me.
Yeah. After
Your
the
thoughts
train's
on
done.
Birds of Prey. What do you think of what they did to Cassandra Cain?
I stopped reading as soon as
Cassandra Cain.
Barbara Gordon.
Was Cassandra Cain the mute Batgirl?
Yes, that eventually started talking stupidly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, to be honest, I didn't really I didn't really. I'm going to say I read the Birds of Prey books, but I don't recall that character. Because
Yeah.
I think I know the only last thing I remember was I wasn't into superhero comics, and then my friend said, "Here, check out these two comics," and they gave me a copy of Secret Six and Birds of Prey, and I started getting into comics again. I actually don't know anything about the comics of the time outside those two comics. If that makes any sense?
Yeah.
Because I was just really happy, and Barbara Gordon as Oracle was...
Oh, the Killing Joke.
It was just... It's not necessarily as much that she was disabled, it's that it was a good comic, but it's a bonus. And she wasn't just like token disabled hero, it was here's a character doing something awesome that happens to just be disabled, rather than, oh, here's a frickin' token character. And
Yeah.
I'm tired of people wanting just token disabled person or token whatever person. It actually was meaningful, and it felt like, it mattered, and I liked how she was overcoming her problems.
Right.
And beyond that, it was proof that a person with something to that scale wrong with them can still find a way to be a hero.
Right.
Yep.
She was totally using her brain. It was.
And it wasn't just in Birds of Prey either. She was the information hub for the fucking Justice League.
Yeah. Didn't she? Wasn't she stationed in the Watchtower for a while?
No, she was never stationed in the Watchtower, but she ran everything from.
Yeah.
Well, she did have an uplink to the tower.
Yeah,
had
that's
uplink
what
to
I
the
was
Watchtower,
mistaken.
yeah.
We're talking about the Killing Joke over here in the chat.
No,
What do you guys think
yeah.
about that?
Actually, I wanted to ask Remy something about that one.
Mm-hmm.
Now, have you heard the alternate theories to the Killing Joke about the writing?
And the ending.
When it was an Elseworlds title, that it was supposed to look like Batman killed the Joker at the end.
Yep. At the end, his laughing suddenly stops.
Yeah.
'cause he
When
got
they're
his-
both, when they're both leaning at each other and laughing,
Uh-huh.
Batman started to put his hands up on his shoulders.
Yeah.
Like
It
he was
was-
getting ready to
The
put him around
theory
his
was that he snapped the Joker's neck there.
Yeah.
It's possible with Moore. Here's the thing with Moore's writing, and one reason that I like it, and even with the Killing Joke, like he says that he doesn't. His quote says, "I don't think it's a very good book. It's not saying anything very interesting." He even says that he regrets a lot of the things that he did with the story in it.
Really.
But it's one of the few. I mean, like even with the New 52, that stayed canon.
Yep.
I like the thing with Moore's writing that it's not all surface level. He doesn't just hand you a story and say, but you can enjoy it as that. I mean, I'm not
Right.
saying, like, if you just want to read on the surface and say, okay, this is what I'm taking away from it, that's fine. But he leaves things, and that's why I liked Watchmen. He leaves things in a way that you can put as much depth into the story as your imagination can give you, and that's why I really enjoyed The Killing Joke, and I get for him, because he knows what he meant to be going on in the background, I get for him why he probably says it wasn't a very good book, and maybe he didn't even realize what he was crafting with it, because writers are often their worst critics.
Yep.
Right.
But with everything that he does, he leaves that kind of open to, wait, what just happened? And that I adore with him. But yeah, that's my favorite. And like I said, I like that it's kept with the New 52 and the stuff with Barbara Gordon and everything else. So
That was one of the few things they did in Redcon, wasn't it?
yeah, it's because they pretty much wiped all of Batman's background. And that's the thing, I don't normally enjoy Batman books so much. Like, I like his bad guys, but Batman as a character, he's just he kind of needs a mommy and a hug and like a warm sandwich and maybe a bath.
That's
And
kind of
make
the
everything-
point. That's the fucking point.
But
But
Batman
that's
has
the thing
always
is, it's like,
been-
so I don't like a superhero that I could fix in 2 pages. I guess that's
Right.
the thing. It's like,
Well,
if you're
well-
going to be a tragic hero, and I love me some tragic heroes. I'm a little goth girl. I love tragic heroes. That's what I'm into. But if I see someone who is broken in such a way that I go, you know what, if I was left alone with him for a week, he'd be a fully functional adult. I shouldn't come away from a comic feeling that. And with Batman, well, with Bruce, I feel that a lot. Like, I feel like if I was in his world, he would have a better place. And so I'm kind of like, but he has the best bad guys.
He
You gotta
does.
you got to look at it another way too. This is how it's always been when I've talked to other friends about Batman. Bruce Wayne is the mask.
Yep.
Yeah,
Batman
yeah,
is who
absolutely.
he is.
Yep.
It's different than like it is for Clark. You know, Clark is Clark, and he becomes Superman.
Right.
That's his mask.
Finley
so
Dale
he-
mask, but yeah.
But his mask is like I'm Superman, but I'm really Clark.
Right,
You know, with Batman, is I am Batman. I put on the mask of Bruce Wayne.
right.
Which, I
And-
mean, because Bruce is painfully boring, so that makes sense. I mean, Bruce is he is the opposite of my Spider-Man, where Peter is this really interesting person who I would want to know and talk to and get to know, where Bruce is just, this,
Socialite?
Yeah, and
Millionaire
he's not
playboy?
even particularly interesting at being that. So I don't know. Like Batman, like I said, I feel like if we sat down for a while and I made him sandwiches and drew his bath for him and just reminded him that there really are awesome things in the world,
And then one of his villains kills you.
And
Yeah,
then
but see-
yeah,
or
Wayne,
I ran
though-
off and slept with the Joker. I mean, that could happen, but
But I
Totally
think
not.
Remy, I think Bruce Wayne is fundamentally fucked up in ways that that you're kind of overlooking a little bit. Like I don't think putting him in a bath and telling him, there are good things in the world and I love you and you're loved and stuff is going to heal him. I think this guy is so fucked up having watched his parents get killed. He's psychologically scarred. He's deeply and profoundly fucked up, and everything he does is fucked up. I mean, this is a guy.
see, I don't.
Okay, I'm gonna put this in. I'm gonna go a little dark here because I'm going to relate a personal story that I don't
shit.
really talk about much.
Okay.
When I was 10 years old, my father was robbed and shot.
Right.
That fucked me up. I didn't trust anybody for like 4, 5, 6, 7 years. It was one of those things. I was actually having the mentality because these guys who did it got off and didn't get any jail time. Yeah. So I had said in my, the world is fucked. The world is screwed up. The only person who can take care of yourself is yourself. Blah 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 blah. So I can kind of see where Bruce would come from in that regard.
Right.
Nobody's going to fix it but me. Is
Right.
kind of the mentality that he's got.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, he never had like my parents. My dad's fine now.
Yeah.
He went through a year. He had to recover, but he's fine. It took a long time for them, for my parents to get me straightened out. He didn't have that.
Right.
He had Alfred, and all
Yeah.
Alfred would, Alfred could only do as much as he was paid to do eventually.
And Alfred encouraged him in a lot of ways too. So.
Yeah, say, well, if you're going to do it, I might as well help you, kind of thing.
Right.
I was basically a replacement parent.
Right.
But
Right.
I think that, I mean, Wayne, I think you're the only one here who really knows like my background with my parents. But I mean, I don't have my parents, and I don't know. I think that had he been written slightly different, maybe he would be more interesting or more. I guess that's the thing, is that his reasoning for being how he is, I have a hard time
Well,
relating
see,
to, just because of personal
back-
experience.
Well,
So-
And that's why I love
Something?
Peter.
well, see,
See,
Bruce
that's the
Wayne's.
thing,
li-
I got to make this point.
Sure.
The thing is, it's like looking at Peter Parker, and I agree with you. Peter Parker had a very important thing said to him before his Uncle Ben died. With
Right.
great power comes great responsibility. And when his uncle died, he realized I didn't use my great power responsibly.
He also had his aunt though.
And he had Aunt May. He had a good influence on his life. Yeah.
Right.
So
Now,
he could see the shades of gray in the world.
Right.
Even though he's seen great evil. I mean, he saw Gwen die. He's, all this stuff that's happened to him that is fucked up. He still knows there's good in the world, and he has to believe in that. Batman
Aw,
is very
I dropped my crackers. Be right back.
Yeah.
Batman is very black and white.
Right,
It's like
right.
it's either good or it's bad. No in between. Fuck you.
And see, where Peter was already kind of doing his own thing when Uncle Ben died. Bruce was a kid, a young kid, and he watched his parents die, and then he devoted the rest of his entire life to stopping that thing from ever happening again. In fact, in the most recent Batman comics, the Joker released a new strain of the toxin that is incurable, or so it seems. And Bruce was out there trying to figure out what's going on, and he saw a kid almost get mowed down, and kind of had flashbacks in a sense, and so for him this is deeply personal, even more so than Peter Parker, in the sense that his overriding goal is to stop what happened to him from ever happening again. That's why he goes after everybody out there, because he's like, this guy could go off and fucking kill somebody.
Yeah. Well, look at it like this. I'll make this point, and then I'll cede the floor for a minute. Remember in Justice League, the animated series.
Sure.
The Justice Lords episodes.
Yep.
Where they went to they basically took the Justice League, what would happen if it went to a extreme conclusion, right?
Yeah.
And you remember the Batman versus Batman fight?
Yep. Where
he said, "You grab power." And then what did the Ultimate Batman say to him? He said, "And with that power, I'll make sure that no 8-year-old child ever has to lose his parents to some punk with a gun."
Exactly.
That is the mentality he's thinking.
And I
Well
guess,
said, man.
I guess for me, and again, it's just because of my background, I feel like there's a lot larger and a lot stronger influences in the world than just the people who spawned you.
Sure.
So, and that's just why, like I said, I love the bad guys. I think that they are given a lot more depth, and it might just be because I have a history that matches his in a lot of ways, and I wouldn't go around, with a cape and I mean, I do look quite dashing in a cape, but.
I want to see this.
Now, if I may,
Mhm.
John had something he wanted to say, and then I want to switch gears a little bit.
What's up, John?
I was going to say two things. So, in New 52, he's a lot less broody, don't you think? Like, especially with Scott Snyder's one, it feels like he took elements of Black Mirror, if you ever read that.
Now,
Well,
say
the
again?
thing, well,
I'm
I
sorry.
know I got what he's saying. He's saying basically he's less broody, less moody. I think a lot of that has to do because he's actually built a relationship with Damian.
Yeah.
And
Right.
yeah, and that was like a big thing for him. He instead of just like being kind of a father figure to people like Dick and
He's
Tim,
literally a father
who
now.
really who already had fathers and mothers and things like that. He's actually a father to.
Did
Damian.
they bring Damien back?
No, Damien's. I think he's dead.
Yeah, but I think they went to Apocalypse.
They were going to bring him back, and then I lost interest.
Yeah, see, because he went to Apocalypse because somebody stole his body,
Yeah.
and then there was a whole thing. So, but yeah, I agree with you. He has that relationship going on that kind of grounds him in a way that having Dick and Tim and whatnot as his wards didn't.
Yeah.
So.
Now, what was your other point, John?
I was going to say, Ray was saying, like, what does this comic? I can't remember. It was like, what Ray was saying, like, if I had, like, saying if she had, like, a few days with a Batman, the turn around to, like, I can't remember what it's called. It's like this graphic novel from, like, the late 80s, where Batman said Telugu had a son, and because Batman was getting less broody and intimidating, he was becoming more of a wimp or something.
Oh, was that with Jason Todd? Are you talking about?
No, it's not Jason Todd. It was like,
I can't remember. It was in Elseworlds, wasn't it?
well, it wasn't planned to be, but people hated it, so they made it the same use as Kingdom Come.
I liked Kingdom Come.
Kingdom Come was good.
Yeah.
Was that the DC one?
Yeah.
Kingdom Come was great.
I love
Alex
it.
Ross, right?
I want to try something since Remy and Wayne are both here.
Sure.
I'm going to do something that may turn out to be throwing a live grenade into the room.
He's gonna masturbate really ferociously for like 10
I already
minutes.
did that.
Okay.
No, I'm just going to throw out one name and see if anybody kills me.
Okay.
Grant Morrison.
What about Grant Morrison? Hey! Grant Morrison's written some decent stuff.
Now,
I
here's
I
my
can't think about any of it.
my
Yeah, you can shut up.
Morrison.
Hey, suck dick. Suck all the
Now,
dick.
let's start this nicely.
Start
How
with
about
mine,
Grant,
asshole.
How about Grant Morrison when he's writing his own stuff, like The Invisibles?
Okay.
Yeah,
Let's
that's
not
what I'm
have the
saying.
War again, please.
What?
Wait, what?
Let's not have the mute war again, please.
We're
No,
not.
I had to shut him up because.
Yeah. Hey, look, even I will admit that was okay, So, no, but I agree with Jason in the sense that when he's writing his own shit, it's good.
Okay. I became a spoiler alert. I was a fan of Grant Morrison during JLA.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed his run in JLA. I thought he did a tremendous job. Then he went to Marvel and said, "I'm going to do X-Men, and I'm going to make everybody wear leather."
Wait. Grant Morrison did X-Men?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's where the fuck up happened.
Okay, I'm going to have to Google this.
Point out what John just said. With Grant Morrison's solo work, where he's not using established characters.
Oh, new X-Men.
We 3 was fucking amazing. Agreed.
Yes.
No, yeah,
I like Frank Quietly's work, though.
Yeah.
Is that what
I'm not as big a fan of his stuff as some people are, but it's
no, I mean, like...
Can we just talk about, though, any writer and fourth walls and on all of those things, his appearances as a comic character.
Wait, Grant Morrison put himself in the comics?
Are you referring to the Catman run? Animal Man, rather?
He was an Animal Man.
Yes, he was.
He has also been in the Suicide Squad. He has been in... Well, there's a whole list.
Yeah.
I will just link you guys.
Please do.
All right, so real fast before you continue that point, me, my buddy, both think you have like the hottest fucking voice ever. Continue.
Yeah, you got quite the pleasant voice.
But
I'll fight you, mate.
He
I'll fight you.
In the fucking...
He is in a ton of different things, and I understand, like...
Artist insertion is okay when done right. Like, I thought Stephen King did good in The Dark Tower, but...
And he's very funny and tongue-in-cheek with it. I feel like with King, he's well aware of how ridiculous it is. And I feel like Morrison thinks he's awesome.
Oh.
And that's the thing. And, like, just seeing him at conventions, there's just such... Like, even if I loved his art, if I'd loved his art and then met him, I would have been like, nah, thanks for killing that man. But I already wasn't a fan of his work. So it's like that guy in 30 Seconds to Mars, Jared Leto. I never want to meet him because I love that band, and I know if I talked to him for like a second, I'd be like, guess what? I hate your band now, thanks.
That guy's the Joker, by the way.
I know. Why was I not cast as Harley? I didn't get the call. I have my phone with me all the time.
Well, it's because you don't say puddin' enough.
I didn't.
Oh, and John, don't read All-Star Superman.
What?
Why not?
You didn't like All-Star Superman?
I couldn't stand it. It was terrible.
Oh, okay. Now, see, I've only seen the animated movie, so...
The animated movie was actually because of
it wasn't bad.
Because it was condensed, wasn't bad. It was the drawn out BS that was All-Star Superman that made it bad.
Now, so somebody clarified the ending for me. Is Superman dead or not?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so that whole thing with Lois imagining him in the sun was just her wishful thinking?
He's in the sun, but he can never leave.
Okay.
He's essentially dead.
He curated a convention about himself.
Oh.
In September 2012, MorrisCon was held at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas. This small-scale convention, curated by Morris, featured a number of comic industry guests. Blah, 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 and blah. Seriously? That's what I mean. Like, this guy is just... Like, I can't take him seriously at all because he's just a walking ego.
Here's where I want to blow their minds. Let's see. Grant Morrison's Doom Patrol.
Never read it.
Trying to
had some of the craziest storylines, like the Brotherhood of Dada.
I know. All I know from that is like the last issue is pretty much a giant piss take of Rob Liefeld.
Yeah, it is.
Well, I think Rob Liefeld is a giant piss take of Rob Liefeld.
God, Rob Liefeld is it's like what would have happened if I had been allowed to draw comics. Okay.
Have you read Deadpool issue 35?
No.
35. Probably not.
It's the recent run.
No.
Hey, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't Liefeld doing some DC stuff now?
Oh my God! Can I say something?
He's doing something I just read about.
Yeah.
Well, look.
Rob Liefeld can suck all the dicks in existence ever. I mean,
I got to ask. Daryl.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried to draw anything?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I mean, I went to art school for like 3 weeks.
Okay, that's great. Can you draw wrists?
Yes, I can.
Can you draw feet?
You draw ankles?
I can.
Can you draw ankles?
I can.
You're automatically a better.
Now, all kidding aside, though, yeah. I mean, I've got Rob Liefeld beat, and I draw like a fucking deviant artist. So, I mean, you know what? It's funny because like drawing is one of those things where, they say it's like riding a bike in the sense that you can pick it up anytime. If you don't keep up your practice, it can decay for sure.
Oh yeah, but Rob Liefeld's bad even when he was.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like you guys remember that his I think it was his Heroes Reborn cap.
Yeah, the where he had a bigger chest than Remy.
Yeah, exactly.
That's impressive.
I mean, you could milk that motherfucker.
So for a second.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So have you guys read of his New 52 Deathstroke?
No, I saw an issue just now where he was a kid.
Oh god, so like, okay, so the new run is actually really good. I'm enjoying, but like, they did like a run before when they started New 52.
Yeah.
And he started around issue 9 and pretty much fucked up Lobo, and it's the reason why everyone hates him because basically he rewrote him as like a slave trader or something.
What?
Like,
yep.
Oh, Jesus
and it was like
Christ.
he's total like serious all the time, and everyone hates it. So like, he said like, oh, that's like a fake Lobo or something, and then like,
and the real Lobo's this skinny little dude.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, and by the way, to go back to what we were talking about earlier, that Miles Morales in New X-Men, that actually is the Ultimate Universe version. Yeah. So.
What do they do? A universe swap or something like that?
Well, he's been to the Marvel Universe a few times.
No.
Well, the new X-Men went to the Ultimate
Universe. What Jason said.
Yeah, the new X-Men traveled to the Ultimate Universe, and they're chilling around with Miles, and they're going to be fighting the Ultimate Universe X-Men soon.
So is this just me, or is the all-new X-Men, are they the younger versions?
Yeah, they're taken out of the alternate past.
Right.
Oh, is that the one where, is that the group that Beast pulled from the past?
Yeah.
To try to make Cyclops see reason.
Right.
So instead of like going like maybe a few weeks before Schism,
right?
They said let's go all the way back to the past where we were all youngsters.
Yeah, let's fuck everything up.
When he was fine. When they should have like like a few weeks before Schism. Hey Scott, I just want to let you know, don't do what you're gonna do. What are you talking about? Oh, you know.
I know we're on DC right now, Jason, but I just wanted to ask your opinion really quick. What do you think of the Ultimate Universe Miles Morales version of Spider-Man?
I will be completely honest. I don't think they gave him enough room to grow as a character.
Sure. He was, but all things considered, with what in the framework of what they've done so far, what do you think?
It's going to be the same answer because
I
don't think they left the mold of Peter Parker behind.
Yeah, and I will agree with you 100% on that. He is pretty much Peter Parker in a new skin.
Yeah.
Like, he's smart, he's witty when he's in the fucking costume. He is Peter Parker, just not. And that was my problem with him, but he's an intriguing character. Like, if they could take him off in his own direction, he'd be really great, but yeah.
Ultimate's going to be ending soon.
Yeah, it is.
Now, I want to bring this back around since I've got Remy and Wayne here, and we've all established that
right.
We're Vertigo fans. And we all hate Grant Morrison.
Hate is a strong word.
Have either of you read The Invisibles?
Suffering. The Invisibles.
The Invisibles?
I do. I own The Invisibles.
What is your take on it?
I have not read that, so I have to...
This is what I've heard about, but I haven't read. And that's a Grant Morrison comic, right?
Yep.
Yeah, but it came out... well, here's the thing, and this is I think that people's writing can definitely evolve and change. The thing is when this came out, and you have to keep in mind that it started in what, like 94, 95?
94, yeah.
And I feel like it came out before his ego kicked in. I enjoyed. I like The Invisibles, like I said. I still have all of my original comics in my long boxes, and I have The Invisibles. I think the thing is that his ego wasn't bleeding through, one. When he's not doing quote-unquote heroes, he's a lot more enjoyable. because it's not as over the top. That, and he had such good artist on it.
Brian Bolland.
That just makes such a huge difference for me. I mean, yes, obviously story matters, but with Vertigo, a lot of what Vertigo was for me was eye candy, especially when I was first learning and first getting into comic books. If you had something that just looked like something I'd want to put on my wall, it would bring me in.
Like Sandman with Dave McKean's covers.
Oh, for sure.
Yes.
That
Yeah, absolutely.
That definitely seemed where the creativity was focused on the DC Comics line, for sure, back then.
And I'm trying to remember characters' names, so bear with me 1 second while I look here, because there's one particular character that I really enjoyed in it, and I can't remember.
I could be a huge Ragged Robin fan.
Ragged Robin, Jack Frost,
King Mob,
Lord Fanny.
Oh, that Lord Fanny. Yeah.
I love Lord Fanny, I will admit.
Yeah, I mean, there was just things that you were. I grew up in an extremely. I grew up in Northern Virginia, right outside of Washington D.C. in the mid '90s. So, I mean, that's. I grew up in a very conservative area, with a very undertone of sort of kink and subversity and things like that. So I enjoyed, like, Vertigo gave me a lot of joy in reading it, but Lord Fanny was such a great character. Oh my god.
I was kind of hoping we could talk a little more about Preacher, honestly.
Oh yeah.
Well,
for sure.
And I wanted to talk about, well, it wasn't really the cover is my favorite character.
Mm.
And people think I'm weird for it, but I love Saint of Killers.
Yes.
I mean, when the dude...
Not enough gun.
Yeah.
I have to admit, man, I was a hardcore Marvel fanboy back in the day, so I missed most of DC's like seminal stuff. Like, and I tried to go back and read the Preacher, but you know, this is one of the things I'm not too up on.
Do you remember his one shot, Jason?
Yeah.
Is that the guy that shot the devil?
absolutely.
That when he was shot, killed in the Old West. His family was killed in front of him. The dude was so mad he made hell freeze over when he got there.
That's awesome.
And
It was basically the devil told. Which angel was it, guys? Was it
Lucifer.
Gabriel?
I think it's Lucifer.
No, Lucifer's he's Satan. Let me see. Because it was Lucifer and some other devil, some angel were playing cards or some shit. I don't know what the fuck they were doing.
Sainted Killers.
And it basically, Lucifer said, "You need to get him out of here."
It just says Angel of Death on this one.
He basically said, "You need to get him out of here because he's going to make hell freeze over, and I'm going to be out of a job."
I think John was right. It was according to this the devil.
Well, yeah, it was Lucifer. They were playing. Yeah, they were trying to. I think it was Gabriel, though. I'm an angel geek too.
Yeah, I think
but
what
I'm
I'm
fairly
saying
certain
the sword was converted into the six shooters. I think it was Gabriel's sword. Is what I mean.
And then the devil said, like, "Get the fuck out of her!" and just shot him in the head.
The only thing I know about Preacher is Arseface.
Arseface would be your hero, Daryl.
Well, yeah, because I'm pretty much Arseface.
Well, no, honestly, he's a really good character.
Yeah. Oh, yeah?
I love it. Story.
Didn't he try to kill himself? Shot himself in the face with a gun, shotgun?
He tried to Kurt Cobain himself.
Yeah.
And he messed it. And as his dad said, he fucked that up, too.
Yeah.
And I think that was probably the sweetest moment of that storyline was when fucking
And now we're talking Garth Ennis, right?
Oh yeah, Garth Ennis. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the sweetest part when Jesse told the sheriff,
"Go fuck yourself."
Go fuck yourself. And then like later on they show him, like coming, put an ambulance, and they says somehow he had like his penis
shoved up.
Cut off his own penis and had shoved it up his ass.
Jesus Christ. Now, hey, was there a British vampire?
It was Irish.
Cassidy, right?
Cassidy. Yeah.
Okay. Now, see, I'm kind of I used to read Wizard back in the day, like fucking religiously.
Okay.
And they loved Preacher back in the day.
Yeah.
So.
Well, just about everybody.
My favorite with Cassidy is like it's a spin-off of him. Where basically he meets other vampires, but they were like all emo and goth, and he's just like fucking confused.
Oh yeah, he like wiped them out.
You remember when he first got his powers and he was like trying to he's trying to get his blood fix, and he was like going after a sheep, and it looked like he was fucking the sheep.
And then the fucking farmer just shoots him with a shotgun.
Yeah, but remember he said to the farmer, he said, "This isn't what it looks like."
Yeah.
Man, I feel like I've missed so much good literature here, dude.
But
I
what
didn't even
really-
realize it, but
Yeah.
Stephen King's comic book series, you know that he had the Dark Tower comic
Yes.
series. That he
Oh,
did after that.
excellent.
He said that it was heavily influenced by Preacher. I didn't
No
even.
kidding.
As I read it, I was like, well, duh. But yeah, so that's very
I will
cool.
fully admit,
Have you read The Dark Tower?
I love the Dark Tower.
Oh, you and me, Remy. We need to
Guys.
talk about this.
back to Preacher, I will fully admit
Oh,
the ending
Mock
to that
Turtle
series
was good.
was so satisfying.
Yeah.
I haven't finished reading it. I need like one.
Spoiler
Russ,
alert.
Dude, the last paperback to it is so good.
Yeah.
All right, don't spoil it for me.
Now, see, I wanted to see a Preacher show for the longest time, and it's funny. It was originally attached to this lady named Rachel Talalay.
Was
She
that
did,
for the HBO version?
yes, and I think she did one of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies.
Yep.
And yeah, and that went nowhere. And I guess now Seth Rogen's attached.
Yeah.
So and apparently that's going ahead. That's like
it's going to
challenge.
AMC.
Yeah, and I'm eager to see it, but at the same time, fucking Seth Rogen.
What? You don't like Seth Rogen?
I hate Seth Rogen.
And
Seth
Seth
Rogen-
Rogen hates us, so it's
Yes, he
okay.
Yeah, but everything
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
like,
like,
I think
yeah,
we
but
were talking about-
real quick, who doesn't want his movie to be censored? Ha!
right. You know, it's funny because he was making fun of Mario Lopez. He was like, I like that whole thing where he reviews movies that are playing on my hotel screen or something like that. And Mario Lopez replied back, and he's like, yeah, I hope to review the interview soon.
Yeah.
Hey, have you guys read? Speaking of Garth Ennis, have you read his Punisher run?
Oh
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah,
Which-
now that was
which
excellent.
version? Are we talking
Oh, the one that the 1990 or the 2004 movie was based on.
No,
Punisher
no, like
Max, right?
What's that?
yeah, the Punisher Max.
Punisher Max.
Yeah.
Punisher Max was trying too hard to me.
No.
I like
They
the-
tried too
I
hard
like
to
the
push.
I like the Marvel Knights one.
Yeah,
The one before Max.
Punisher
Yeah.
Max tried
Hey,
way
do you
too
remember
hard
when the Punisher died and went to heaven and became a fucking
Yeah.
an angel killer.
yeah.
The only good thing that came from that was his crossover with Wolverine and Marvel Knights.
Oh God, yes.
That was a good story, and the art was fantastic.
But Punisher Max, I felt it was trying too hard to push social issues.
Yeah.
Oh, was it? Oh yeah, with
There
all,
was
with
some
the,
dialogue in there,
yeah.
like Frank trying to kill this black Irishman. Like, I mean, dark black.
Right.
He was like going on about, pardon the stream of profanity that's about to come out of my mouth.
Oh fuck it.
They made all the freaking nigger comments they could,
Oh really?
saying the Irish are the nigger of the world, and he's like, I'm a black man, Tom, and it's just like the oppression
Irish.
Olympics.
Dude's Irish.
Yeah, but I'm saying he let that bleed way too much into the comic.
Now I love Steve Dillon though.
Yeah.
I'd say
His
I
art-
like
yeah,
Punisher Max. Like, okay, so I haven't read that story arc, but my favorite ones are the one that comes after that, the one that's in Russia,
That
And
was a
then
good
it's-
storyline.
and then there's the Barracuda one because the ending to that one is brilliant. If I don't spoilers.
Yeah.
So like in the Barracuda storyline, basically he's kind of like a secondary character in the story, and at the end, like there's like this, he blows, like this yacht blows up, and there's tons of dead people, and a shark eats him, and then he's looking over, he's like, "What the fuck just happened?"
I just had a mini panic attack. The thought that some of our ex-Gamergate opponents will come after comics.
They already
Too late.
have.
Yeah, that
happened. That war has
That
been
happened. That
Okay.
happened before Gamergate, and
Okay.
yeah, we rolled over and we're like belly up, like, oh,
Oh,
we're so
Jesus.
sorry. Let's talk
less of-
about Spider Woman. Have you heard what they're
No,
doing with
come
her and the
you're
new
kidding me.
costume and everything too?
Just like-
Yeah,
Oh,
screw
Jesus.
I'll say,
them.
like there's one exception. I think it was like when World's Finest started in New 52. Like Howgirl didn't have any cleavage. Like she had no skin string still whatsoever. But due to like fan feedback, they just changed to original design.
But then we spent last week talking about Power Girl's boob window. So
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, that has been.
On the note of Power Woman's boob window,
We'll tell you about it later when you're older.
yeah. Yeah, when you grow some pubes, we'll talk about it.
That's got to
I
raise
think
the
girls would stink.
But actually,
I'm sure
one
Rennie
thing-
could find us a boob window picture that he would like.
Yeah.
But the one thing
I like
about
all the boob window pictures.
Punisher Max that really bugged me was
Oh.
how he handled microchip.
Yeah.
And then it wound up with fucking Frank giving him a shotgun mouthwash.
Yeah, you saw the Punisher Warzone, right?
Yeah.
Wayne Knight as fucking microchip getting shot in the face.
Yeah, that's almost direct,
Oh yeah.
Well, it's like I said, my personal favorite was when he did the one in Marvel Knights, before they became.
Yeah.
And
Hey guys,
Yeah.
I have to go help my daughter pack because she's leaving tomorrow. I'll be back in just a couple minutes.
But yeah, so the reason why is it was right after the Angel story.
Yep.
And I love the fact that like the whole mention of the Angel story was like he took like what, half a paragraph.
He's just like, yeah, they kicked me out.
It basically said, yeah, I tried the Angel thing, didn't work out. They
Okay.
yeah,
They sent me
kinda-
back.
And
Yeah.
they sent me back. And then
Oh, remember Frankencastle?
oh god, I don't want to talk about that.
No, let's talk about it. Let's
No.
No.
Let me make my point first.
Yeah, absolutely, Wayne.
No, I'm not playing with you.
Hey, Wayne, I'm drinking, so I'm interrupting everybody.
Well, yeah, I'll just use that mute button again.
All right, Wayne.
But yeah, so the thing that I like, I think Jason knows where I'm going with this. When they were in the fucking zoo,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
he
yes.
leads them into the polar bear cage.
Yes.
And he says, He's looking at the polar bear. He said, docile. That won't do. Punches the polar bear in the face.
Hey, was this Steve Dillon art?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that then.
He
Yeah.
punches the polar bear in the face, gets him pissed off, and then the polar bear eats the guy.
I just realized Steve Dillon was the guy who did The Preacher, right?
Yes.
Fuck.
Most 9 times out of 10, when you see Garth Ennis, you'll see Steve Dillon.
Steve Dillon, yeah.
That's his preferred.
It's kind of like Mike Allred and Peter Milligan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, go back to Garth Ennis. Have you guys read The Pro?
What's that?
The Pro by Garth Ennis.
No.
It's about the story about the hooker to get superpowers.
Huh.
It's
Don't
by,
think I haven't read that one, no.
No.
it's pretty cheap. The art's by Amanda Connor, surprisingly.
Huh.
That's
Trying
something
to-
I'll have to look into.
But yeah, if you want to talk about Frankencastle, I guess.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Well, no, I don't. I just want to talk about how absurd the whole fucking thing was.
Yeah, it's the fact that he got cut up by Dakin,
Docking.
and that was so stupid because I'm sorry. I mean, I'm just gonna go ahead and call Dakin what he is. He's poor man Wolverine.
Yes,
Yeah.
he is. This
And-
guy
Actually,
Wolverine.
no. I'll go further. He's a
Yeah.
poor man's X-23.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go and say that to the point of fucking Frank has been able to. He hasn't. I wouldn't say he can beat him, but he's able to stave off Logan.
Yeah.
He can almost stand toe to toe with Logan as a normal human being.
Yeah.
And you're going to tell me Dakin is all of a sudden badass enough to just slice him and dice him and kill
No,
him?
of course not.
No.
The thing
And then we get Frankencastle.
I do
Docking
have
was
to
a really bad idea.
I do have to give Frankencastle one thing.
What's that?
It brought back some of the classic monsters.
True.
Yeah, it did.
True.
Like I love Morbius,
Morbius, yeah.
and
The living
I love
vampire.
I love like that whole line, like Werewolf by Night,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
the living. What was it? The Living Mummy.
Yeah, the living mummy. The living mummy, like the whole time, is like a bad guy too, right?
Right.
Yeah,
Pretending to be a hero just so he can get a hold of the stuff he needs to get a hold of, so he can take over the world.
yeah. But I will just go out on the line and say it. Any storyline that involves the Bloodstone is ultimately going to be garbage. Ever
Yeah.
since that 6-parter in Captain America in the 80s, the Bloodstone Quest.
Oh yeah.
That was good, but everything after, no. Okay, you want to get me started on 2099, there, John?
Yeah, let's do it. I mean,
I
Jump in.
love
2099?
yeah, the 2099.
2099 was a early 90s Marvel creation where they took
I
their
know,
biggest
Spider-Man,
lines. Well,
Ravage.
this is for the benefit of
Ravage.
people listening.
Yeah.
They put some of their biggest things like X-Men, Punisher, Spider-Man,
I
and shipped
collected
them
the shit out of
108 years in the future.
Yeah.
And they had Stan Lee come back for one of his first original creations for Marvel in decades.
Ravage?
Oh shit.
Ravage.
Yeah, I remember Ravage. Yeah.
Yep.
2099 was actually pretty
I
good.
loved it, man. X-Men
Spider-Man
2099 was good.
2099 had such a great storyline.
It did.
It was less about Spider-Man being the outcast and what we're used to, and more about corporate subterfuge.
Aren't they setting up Alchemax now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Miguel O'Hara, Spider-Man 2099,
Mhm.
is only 2099 property still active.
Yep. They
Well,
just
Punisher 29 was apparently fucking terrible.
which one?
It had its points.
Wait,
And
he kind of cut up for me. Which one?
Punisher.
Punisher. Yeah.
And they killed off Hulk 2099.
Was it at the one where they were all at in a picnic or something, and they
Yeah.
moved down his family?
The public eye did it. Now
Yeah.
here's the funny thing, Wayne, is since you bring it up. Remember how they killed Hulk 2099?
Yeah, it was Proteus.
Proteus.
No,
talking
not
about-
that version. That's an alternate 2099. I'm talking the original.
Oh, okay. I
They
don't remember.
encased him in adamantium.
Oh.
Sound familiar?
Yes. Death of Wolverine. Oh shit.
But
Yeah,
they
but
had him-
I think
Oh,
I
no,
know
sorry,
it
that's how they killed Ravage.
Oh,
Hulk did get killed, but he got killed some weird and stupid way in the original 2099.
I thought that Hulk from in the Exiles was the 2099 Hulk because that was also Miguel O'Hara.
They did so much retconning with that shit.
Yeah.
Listen, didn't they bury the whole fucking 2099 universe in water? Like the whole. I remember reading.
I think it was a result of the Proteus thing. That's why I said. That's why
Here it is. Here it is.
Okay.
The Hulk originally was killed by Shield in 2099.
Okay.
In 2099 AD Apocalypse. When the Exiles thing came in, it split into two different 2099s.
Okay.
Okay.
Due to House of M and bullshit like that.
Yeah.
Really?
Basically, they disliked how it happened so bad that they said, "Fuck you, this isn't gonna count."
Yeah.
That his
But I think
death
it's even worse that
at
he
the
got.
hands of Shield is gonna be.
Yeah.
It's even worse what they did though, because he infected Proteus infected him, and then what they did to Morph.
Yeah. Let's
was
just
bullshit.
be honest.
I really
half
dug
of Exiles was handled badly.
Yeah, like I would say the first 24 issues were great.
Oh yeah.
Now
And
Exiles is one where they go about dimension hopping, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you get different versions of classic Marvel characters.
And it was like Morph, Blink, and a couple other people.
Mimic, yeah.
I think.
Yeah. Oh, Mimic. That's right.
Yeah. My friend,
Nightcrawler's daughter.
he loves it so good. He had it as his desktop for years.
Yeah.
You remember it was like they went to it was like the Wolverines,
Yeah.
like pulling Wolverines from all the different ones.
And they were all feral and shit.
There were different versions, but he had my friend had this at the desktop where he just loved it so much where Hyperion just vaporizes a few of them. He just loves that scene. He's like, look at this, is so awesome. And he's like, every once in a while he'll just like, hey, remember this? I'm like, yes, I remember that.
But Jason, I was a huge fan of X-Men 2099 in particular, dude. I loved it.
I will be honest. What really got me about X-Men 2099 is how they hinted about what happened in between.
Yeah.
Like there's the scene in the first 3 issues where fucking Xian is standing there. He's like, from Xavier we learned peace.
Yep.
From Magneto we learned war.
Yep.
I'm just like, fuck yes.
That was excellent.
So they basically said that Magneto did eventually take over the X-Men.
Yep. Magneto took over after an unspecified death of Xavier.
Yeah. It was good stuff, man.
There was what was the fuck? Oh, and of course Doom 2099, and you find
Yeah.
out, well, guess
Then
who?
it was the real. Oh,
Was it Victor?
it was the original Victor.
Oh shit! Hold on. Gotta mute this shit.
It's
And-
like, I mean, that was literally a Dio moment. You thought it was Doom 2099, but it was me, Victor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what I really loved about that is I also went heavily into Doom's backstory,
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
being raised by gypsies.
Yep. And then they like at that point he had basically foregone sorcery.
Yep.
And it was all tech, and that he was all tech about tech at that point.
And then Wire's like, there's no real difference, right?
yeah.
And then jacked into the computer and brought Doom with him, and Doom's just like, holy shit.
You know, that kind of reminds me of a thing. You all remember the show Gargoyles?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. There was something that was said in that always made me think. He said, "Energy is energy, whether it's generated from science or sorcery."
Yep.
Yeah.
I love gargoyles.
Yeah.
And that had Will Riker, right?
Yeah.
Actually, that had a lot of
That
Star
had a
Trek.
lot of Star Trek people in
Yeah,
there.
Marina Sirtis was
Demona.
what's her name? The
Demona.
fucking gargoyle chick.
Demona.
Demona, right? And then there was Brent Spiner was
Owen.
Yep.
yeah.
And
Well,
then
what was his true identity though?
Puck.
Puck, yes.
And then what was his name? Michael Dorn was Cold Stone.
Yeah. That was an excellent show.
Yeah, it was a good show.
And actually, I'd love to see that turned into a movie, going back to what we were talking about earlier about
Yeah.
movies and shit. Oh, God.
I'm
drunk.
backish.
Hello.
I'm drunkish.
We noticed.
Hey, no, you're supposed to say, we noticed.
Well, I'm not.
I'm
Yeah,
kinda
don't say
drunk
it that
too.
way.
I'm not
drunk.
drunk.
Yeah.
I'm drunk and I'm still holding down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I drank, like, all the booze.
I gotta ask, through
Yeah.
this, have we actually had an audience?
No,
We've had a few people in the chat.
there's
Marco's always with us. Marco loves us.
Marco's a good guy. Yeah.
Get that right. He loves you. And if you know it,
Your audience.
there's you.
I'm
And
really
Ryan just shows
enjoying
up
just
randomly
sitting back
to-
and listening to you guys
Oh, no, I'm
talk,
listening
even if
in.
I don't say much.
Hey, you know what? I don't care about the audience, though. I'm having fun, man. Like, we'll
Marco-
worry about audience later.
Well, I'll be
Marco is
honest.
love. Marco is life. We gotta love Marco. Hey, thanks, Marco.
I gotta be honest. The whole
Hello.
thing is, for me, it's I'm hosting this segment.
Yeah.
It's been a very long time since I've hosted a stream,
Yeah.
and I'm drunk, and I'm not talking about the
Yeah.
thing that we're all involved with that shall not be named.
Voldemort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The dark side.
Yeah. The unbearable faggots.
Well, we got 20 minutes left. In this segment, so I'm gonna bring up a subject,
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
and it's Daryl's gonna probably flip, and Wayne may too.
Yeah.
Infinity Gauntlet.
Oh, yes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Squeezed in his pants.
Yeah, yeah.
We all know it's going to be the Marvel Cinematic Universe's everything goes, everybody in at once.
Yes. I am fucking psyched about it.
Now, here's a question.
Yeah.
Anybody that isn't in the current Marvel movie universe that
Yeah.
you want to see brought in?
Adam Warlock, of course.
Oh yeah.
All right, Warlock, the entire Infinity Watch aside.
Of course, Nebula's gonna play a big part in that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it.
Yeah.
Surfer.
The Surfer, yes.
Well, Sony
that's-
still has rights to him.
No, but that's Fox.
does.
But, yeah,
Fox, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm drunk. Shut up.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah. Fox still has rights to Surfer, so we're probably not going to see him.
Well, it depends on what they do with the Fantastic Four between now and then. Because if getting rid of the comics kind of makes Fox ditch that shit,
Yeah.
we'll see.
Now,
Where's the rest of the Skrulls?
Somebody said send Nick the link. He's asking for it on Twitter.
Okay.
well,
Well- Do it.
I'll just send it to him on Skype.
You got
Alright.
20 minutes left, Jason.
Hey, is Nick on the Mindless Zombies Skype?
No.
Join. Join
I've
him.
never actually talked to him about the
I will send
idea.
it to him.
I just did.
I found out that you were once part of the Skype cabal. What happened?
What are we?
True story. Remy was actually briefly in the Skype cabal, and then she left.
That's what he was saying.
Yeah, you were.
you were in the Mindless Zombie Studios.
But hey, let's get back to the Infinity Gauntlet, you sons of bitches.
Yeah, all right. Now, let's just put a little ground rule.
Yeah.
Warlock and the Infinity Watch do not matter for this, and neither does anybody that Sony or Fox has rights to.
Sure.
Well, then Nova. Okay.
Nova.
Yeah.
Okay.
You think
Honestly, I just want to see Nova, period.
Guys,
Yeah, sure.
I got one. Beta Ray Bill.
Hail Hydra.
Beta Ray Bill.
Beta Ray Bill.
Now, see, there's rumors that he was in Guardians of the Galaxy in one of the pods.
No, Adam Warlock was one of the Dark
No, we're
Elves.
talking about Beta Ray Bill.
Yeah, I'm getting to that. Beta
Yeah,
Ray Bill.
okay.
There is somebody that may be a Corbinite, which is the same race.
Hail Hydra.
Right. Well, there's a guy that's kind of leaning over. You see, he's got a cape, a red cape, and he's just chilling. And he looks, if you imagine it, like Beta Ray Bill.
I'm pulling up screenshots right now.
What's the, okay, wait a minute. Wait. Okay, we gotta make sure of something as far as timeline
Holy
goes.
shit, he's right, dude.
There is another what?
Beta Ray Bill was in Guardians.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Hold
Well,
on,
let me. I'm trying to tie this up to think so it could work out well.
Yeah.
Ragnarok. That's coming out before.
Yes, it is.
Yep.
Okay. So we can have Beta Ray Bill in that.
Yes, we can.
Because we need
Wayne?
him to have Stormbreaker. Come on.
Wayne,
Yeah.
if you look at the screenshot I just posted,
Yeah.
you can see Stormbreaker.
Okay, let me see.
Yeah, I don't know. See, I've looked at the screenshot a lot, and I can't really fucking see it.
It's he's the right shape. He doesn't have the helmet, obviously.
Right.
But he's holding something that looks like it may be a hammer.
Right.
Yeah, I do see something a little bit.
No, that's not a hammer. Actually, that's just the fucking pod he's in.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But
But doesn't that,
let's be honest.
but doesn't that look like Beta Ray Bill?
Yeah. Let's be honest. We could really have an entire segment about just the Collector's Menagerie.
Yeah.
And all the fucking little Easter
Like if you
eggs
look
in
up there, there's fucking Howard the Duck right before the, right there,
Above
above the B.
Oh yeah.
There's Howard.
What are you looking like that for?
But I fucking love the Marvel
We're
Cinematic
really
Universe.
going to talk about duck boobs again this week.
The Marvel Cinematic Universe, dude, they have done that so amazingly well. Like they planted all the seeds. They've given it a level of respect that DC Comics isn't giving with their properties. Like they did Man of Steel, and now they want to do the fucking Justice League Light, and it's kind of frustrating because.
And Glenn, to answer your question from the chat, if Rotten will give me another 2-hour slot, I can throw down on some horror.
Yeah,
next
and I'm
week.
sure he would, Jason.
I am a horror writer, so I would totally be up for that.
And
But I'm a horror writer. I'll horror out for anyone who wants
I'm
to.
named after a horror character, so.
Yeah. Shut up.
Okay,
Shut up, Ryan.
Subject.
Okay, can I say something about Guardians of the Galaxy again?
Yeah.
So it's actually going to ties into humans as well.
And you're horror writers. They're talking about horror for a couple hours. I can so do that.
Hey, Ryan, shut up.
All right, fuck it. You guys want to do horror for the next segment?
No. You missed it.
No, he's trying to say
Let it
They
go.
were making
Let it
fun.
go.
he's being a faggot. Anyway.
An unbearable faggot. Fucking Sith Lord.
All right,
no.
John, what were you saying about Guardians?
That's
I was
it.
going to say, so,
Just don't abuse my powers.
fuck's sake. Can you let me talk? Okay.
All right.
So, you know, the Celestial they show doing like that the collector shows.
Wait. The Celestials?
Yeah, they show a celestial standing on
oh.
a planet.
Apparently,
Yeah, nowhere.
that's the
Nowhere.
first one that goes to Earth, and it has huge ties with the Inhuman and Atlantis as well. Well, actually, who has the registered Namor?
Nobody.
Actually,
Hey, can I ask a question really quick? Is somebody listening to the stream as they're streaming here?
yeah, we're getting
Does
a
it
little bit of.
Yeah,
Reverb.
we're getting a little bit of feedback.
I'm not, but who has the rights to Namor? I believe that would actually fall with Fantastic
Marvel.
Four.
No, I think that's Marvel.
Oh, they took the right.
I
back
believe
name?
so. I believe so. Yeah.
There was
Yeah.
talks about them doing
It could be-
I think the third one was supposed to be a Namor movie.
Yeah.
They continued on that one, but no, yeah.
But yeah, back to the Celestials
Ah.
time.
Yeah.
I just thought of one for the Infinity.
Yeah.
All right.
I think it would, because he was such a big part of it, and once again, it would, I don't know if it would still fall in the purview, but I'm going to throw it out there anyway. Galactus.
Galactus. Nope.
Still stuck under Fox.
That's Fox. Yeah.
I would, if I was Marvel, I would give a caveat. It's like, no, you gave us a cloud.
Hey, but didn't Galactus? Wasn't he part of the Celestial Alliance thing that was going on there
No.
during the Infinity War?
Yeah, he was. He was part of the council.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah. Essentially, what happened in the Infinity War, if I remember correctly, it was the heroes first that
Right.
tried to stop Thanos, and they failed. And then the cosmic beings came and tried to stop him.
Exactly.
Then Adam Warlock went to Eternity and said, "Are you gonna do shit?"
Yep.
Yeah.
Eternity's like, "Hold on a minute." Brings in Galactus, the Living Tribunal.
Hey guys, play Zen Pinball's Infinity Gauntlet table. It is excellent.
If I
And
had
it-
the money,
and it-
I would.
Well, it ties into that shit and really well, actually.
And honestly, for that Infinity Gauntlet whole thing, the one character, for me, I'd have to say the Living Tribunal.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
the
just wanna
ultimate.
see
The
that.
ultimate
Celestials, right?
well, at the very end, you need the ultimate judge of the universe. I mean,
Right.
the,
But man, just imagine the melee. If Marvel could get back the X-Men and Fantastic Four and Spider-Man, imagine the melee. It would be perfect. I mean, fucking Thanos breaking Captain America's neck.
And the
Or
shield.
Spider-Man's, right?
He busted Captain America's shield with a punch,
Yeah.
and then he snapped Spider-Man's neck.
Oh man, I am so fucking psyched to see this.
I hope something like this happens, because then we get Thunderbolts.
Right? The
Actually-
Thunderbolts?
Yeah. You know,
Oh,
But dude, listen, we live in a world where there's going to be an Infinity Gauntlet adaptation. That excites me so fucking much. As a comic book fan and as a Marvel Comics fan in particular. Like I said earlier, that was the comic that I grew up on,
I'm just
yeah.
happy-
Infinity Gauntlet is essentially the Marvel fanboy Star Wars.
Oh yes. Oh yes. And Nebula has to be in there because she was pretty seminal to the whole thing.
the thing
She's
is
the one that
with-
betrayed Thanos.
yeah.
Yeah.
The thing
Didn't
is
she
with
stand next to Thanos for the whole time, just desiccated
Yep.
because of his use of the gauntlet and shit?
Mhm.
And then she ended up grabbing the gauntlet.
She took it briefly, and I think that's when Warlock came and got it.
Yeah.
Surfer and Warlock.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh man, I've got a nerd boner right now.
But see, it works out so well. Like you said, you can really equate it to Marvel Star Wars because you have even though I know they're breaking that one up in two parts, you have three parts.
Right.
You have the war, you have the Gauntlet, you have the war, and you have the Crusade.
Right.
So
I would love to
And I'm
see
just
Infinity
loving the fact that
Crusade.
they set this up.
And
you know.
actually, I want to bring in a caveat for
Sure.
all this. Another character I would not mind seeing.
Uh,
And it's going to count as separate.
sure.
I want to see the Magus.
oh yeah,
yeah. Well.
no,
Pro and all.
Yeah.
well, I guess you could have the one from the war who it was more of a mullet.
Right. Hey, let's have Korvac in here too. Okay.
Yep. Which version of Korvac? Because there was like the not
The
so
early
Guardians
90s
version?
there was
yeah,
the one there's a not so
Yeah,
bad
the Guardians one.
and then there was the one who like nearly destroyed reality. So
Right. Yeah, but he was Michael Korvac the whole time, right?
yeah, but what I'm saying is, well, it's
different
like
versions
different
of
time period stuff, kind of.
Right.
Too, so.
Well, let's limit it to mid '90s Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, when you had like Major Victory and
Yeah.
Charlie
Yeah.
27, Yondu,
Yep.
Major Victory, Nicolette Gold, Mark's Next. Yeah,
I'm glad they had Yondu. Hey, I like the Guardians of the Galaxy version of Yondu, the film version.
it was decent.
Well, it wasn't fucking 100% faithful by any stretch, but
No, it was a good retake of it.
yeah. And I like Michael Rooker. Like
Yeah, he's good. I enjoyed him in the movie.
Yeah.
All right, we got 10 minutes left in this segment.
Okay, so who do you think
With
is
that arrow whistle thing he
who
had.
do you think is hey, who do you think is what's his name's
Hey,
dad?
Daryl, be quiet. I was asking Jason.
Shut
something.
up.
Oh, the Yaka arrow?
Is that what? I don't know, dude. You know
Yeah.
more. About
Yeah, that's straight out of the comics, except for in the
Yep.
comics he used to shoot it from a bow.
But he still controlled it with whistles and shit.
Yep. I think they just cut out the middleman and said, why do you need a bow if you can just
Right.
whistle to propel it?
Still badass. When he
fucking
took out Sakaar, the whole fucking army
Those
out
are
there.
Zangarians.
No, they were the Sakarans.
Uh,
Yeah, the guys
Yeah.
that Yondu took out with the arrow.
there was
They
the
were
guys working with Ronan, yeah.
Yeah, the Sakarans, the guys from the Planet Hulk comic. They're actually, remember the bug-looking guy that was
Yeah.
yeah, that they were patterned after them rather than the other Sakarans.
Huh.
Yeah,
I can see that.
yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. Because I mean, the fact that they use the Sakarans actually, leaves the door open for Planet Hulk later.
Yep.
So, I mean, that's what I love about Marvel is they're setting up this whole huge universe, and stuff that seems incidental from a viewership standpoint, for us comic book fans, takes on way more significance. So,
Yeah.
I love it. But I love Yondu, and I was asking you guys earlier, who do you think is Star-Lord's father?
Okay, if you're an old school Guardians fan, this may make sense to you.
Sure.
I think it's going to turn out to be Starhawk.
Oh yeah.
Well, if you know your original Guardians, that
Yeah.
was the one person, even that version of Yondu would have been like, yeah, he's a dick.
Yeah. No, I think it's going to be Eros.
If you listen to Star-Lord's mother, she says he showed up like an angel.
Yep.
And Starhawk is a character whose power is control of light.
Yeah. Well,
I
hell.
think it is perfectly tailor-made for that role.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I had a friend, true or false, that whistling arrow thing, that's not... Is that an item like the Tesseract and other things?
No,
that a friend
it's
told
not.
me? I
an
think I
Infinity
knew. I had a
Stone.
feeling it was bullshit.
Yeah.
It's just a weapon.
Okay, I thought it
Now,
was.
see, hey Jason, I thought it was cool. When they showed the Thanos Infinity War preview, they confirmed that Loki's staff had one of the Infinity Gems in it.
It had the Mind Gem.
Yep. I thought that was fucking
Guardians
cool.
of the Galaxy was the Power Gem.
Yep. I loved it. And they showed some of the old Jack Kirby stuff.
Yep.
When that guy uses the staff to destroy the world when they're in the collector's.
The staff inside.
Yeah.
That's a shot.
We got 5 minutes left. I got one question I want to ask.
Sure.
Hey, what happened to Loki's staff at the end of the Avengers?
It's Baron
has
Zemo
it.
has it.
Shield had it, and Zemo got it.
Yeah.
All right.
At the
Quick
end of
question.
Captain America 2, Zemo has it, and that's where you see Quicksilver and
5
Scarlet
minutes
Witch.
left.
Oh, yeah, all right.
One quick question for everybody. Since Marvel has announced their movies out so far, is there anyone in specific you are most hyped to see except for Infinity War?
Fucking
Iron Man.
no, I am really psyched to see Doctor Strange.
Yes, and Civil War.
Yeah, Civil War and Doctor Strange.
I gotta say Inhumans.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'd like to see what they do with that. They gotta have Lockjaw. But no, I'm with Viewer. I'm with Nick there.
So now I'm assuming that Loki's staff is the reason why Thanos would even come to Earth.
He's
It's
gonna
probably
go
one of
for
them, yeah.
super power to get all of the stones.
Right.
Yeah, he's gonna come
I think Ragnarok is going to
using,
have a lot to do with Thanos.
Loki's staff, right?
Yeah.
He's gonna want to recover the staff because it has one of the stones in it.
Yeah, and see, the preview they showed makes it clear that Thanos gets all the gems. He's wielding
got all of
the
them gauntlet.
Infinity Gauntlet. And see, Ragnarok, now this is why I think he's going to show up in that, because in Odin's armory, he's got the Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah.
Or, so I
But
think...
that may just turn out to be a throwaway.
It could be. Yeah, probably was actually.
Are they gonna introduce what is it? Sword of Odin?
Oh, the Odin
Yeah.
sword. God, I hope.
They can introduce that because isn't drawing the Odin sword what sparks Ragnarok? Or supposed to?
Well,
Yeah. In the comics,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. But I have a feeling that
But I am correct in the fact that Loki's staff is what will bring Thanos to Earth.
probably, most probably.
One of the things.
Because it does house a gem.
Actually, from the looks of it, what's going to be bringing him to Earth, besides the staff, is the ending to Avengers.
Yep.
When his little henchman dude said,
well, he
fighting
knew
them
the,
is like
the
courting
Chitauri?
death.
the staff was there,
He
though.
put the staff in.
But we're talking the Chitauri, right?
Yeah, when he said that attacking Earth is like courting death.
Yes. And he smiled. I love that because that was his obsession. Death was his obsession.
Yep,
That's
that
why
was the
he
whole.
used
That's the
the
whole point.
gauntlet.
He wants Death to notice him.
Yep.
Oh my
That's why
god.
he kills like half of the fucking universe.
They need to put Deadpool in this fucking universe just so that people.
Sure.
He's on the way. He's on
That's
the way.
Fox. That's Fox, so.
It's happening. He's getting some movie.
Yeah.
I have this funny feeling that
Love the
Disney.
fact that he has a personal relationship with Death in his
Yeah,
face.
sure. And that's going to be more of a Fox thing, unfortunately.
Well, no, I have this feeling before all this goes down. Before we get
Yeah.
to gritty.
Wayne?
That
I'm hoping.
You want to know anything about Deadpool? Ask Optimus.
Hey,
Yeah.
Ryan.
Just. He was psychotic. He always broke the fourth wall.
Wayne.
yeah.
What were you saying, bro? Yeah.
Yeah, what were you saying, Wayne?
I was gonna say I have a feeling before for the Infinity movies and everything like that, Marvel is gonna throw down some major dosh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And they're going to get the rights back, and it's going to be a time they're going to get to it like, you know what, fuck you, Fox. Here is $5 billion. Give our shit back.
Yeah.
And they have enough time between now and then. If they need to, they'll go to court.
Marvel is doing such an amazing job at creating this universe. I want them to be able to incorporate everything.
We got
we're
a
at
minute left.
2 minutes.
All right, are we done?
No, we're at 2
We got a
minutes.
minute left. So, Rotten, you want to start preparations?
Yeah. So we end this segment and start the next.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
This
go to part
segment,
three.
needs to be a staple every week, dude.
Yeah,
Comic book geeking out, dude.
Thank you guys for checking out the comic book segment of the show. Link to part 3 is in the description below. Feel free to join us. To help us out and show the link on Twitter too, that'd be great. Thank you.
Yeah.